What's up, R fam? Dominic from Rozalado Services here. We are back. I know for you guys, it could have been a couple weeks. For us, it's been like a year. So yeah, it's been a long time. So let me go ahead and just introduce you guys again to Julian over here. We got Dino. Introduce yourself, man.
Julian, National Operations. So been with these guys, what, a year?
Okay.
No, 2 years.
Come on, bro. You're coming on 2 years. That's 2 years.
I'm a newbie still.
Okay. Dino.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Dino Cardone, operations. Been here going on, what, almost over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
We kind of came on almost around the same time, but glad to be back. Glad to talk to you guys today, and glad to be back with my guys.
I guess for you guys, it's probably been like a couple weeks. For us, right, guys, it's been like a year. All right, that we filmed this a long time ago. So again, I know there's been some requests and some things about some of these subjects. So we really want to bring these up and come back here again. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming again. I know we guys got really busy schedules, so I'm excited about to talk about some of these things. So I know there was a couple things that we want to talk about when it comes to operations and then sales as well. So there's 4 things that I know that we'd like to bring up today. Number 1 is direct selling. That's the first one. And then the second one is indirect selling, on how we do some of those things at Rozalado. Another one is external sales. And another one is internal sales, right? So I know when I first came here, Ricky hired me to be a salesman, right? And kind of be like, hey, I need you to be another one of me, and then naturally got into the operations piece of it because I wasn't experienced enough to sell or talk about money or anything like that because, again, he knew more than me. In this particular case, all I did was work on the technology, and then that's how I got into the operational piece of it. And of course, naturally, I was, into sales and I knew how to sell, right? So, and then it evolved into, okay, well, now you know the product, now you know the software, now you know the operations piece. How do we sell? Because now there's still no salesman, right? So let's go with Julian, for example. Julian, give me an example of what you've learned here with Rozalado, and let's start with the first subject on indirect sales. Like, how do you, or what is your approach when it comes to the indirect selling, when it comes to operations? Because you're an ops, right, guys? So you're an ops. So you're not in sales per se, the department. Clearly, you know how to sell. You were in real estate and all that kind of stuff. So you're a gangster at freaking selling. But how is your approach on that, on the indirect selling piece of that when it comes to running an operation, because you run an operation. So
the biggest thing that I learned with you guys more was the fact that there's a lot of opportunity with your current clients.
Yes.
A lot of people get confused of, hey, let's sell brand new things. And then what I always talk to you about is like, yeah, you can sell brand new things, but if your ops is not good, then how are you going to keep the business?
How are you going to keep it? Exactly.
How you keep the business, stuff like that. So fortunate enough, I was able to learn under you, do the indirect selling on how you did it in regards to the cleaning industry. That's any industry overall.
Yep.
That's what I've learned. It's like you have clients. Let's see how you can build on the clients. So I know that's what we worked on a lot in the beginning. And like, for example, let's say cleaning alone. You're there every day. You're going to see other opportunities there.
Exactly.
With your team. Now you just got to teach your team how to search for those opportunities.
Yeah.
Whether it's something small like a doorknob or, we talked about that, a light being out, something like that. So that's our biggest thing there.
And it goes into your training, so that's you're training the employees right at that point.
You're training your employees to look at everything.
Look at everything.
So you have to look at
not just
everything.
have these blinders on, right? It's just clean like a robot.
No, you're not here just to do the jobs. Like, hey, do you want some extra time? Let's say it's a 4-hour account. You can actually make it 5 if, for example, you wanted to do some extra work, once a week or something like that. Hey, they're going to ask for special requests or quarterly, every 6 months, yearly, a deep clean. Those are opportunities for extra money.
Exactly.
And that's what we like to build ourselves on. Just because, okay, yeah, we get ourselves in the door. Okay, now we're going to keep ourselves there. And let's build on it, too. Because then the relationship part comes into it. Because we're taking care of the client like it's pretty much our place, too.
So what you're saying is the main focus is really just taking the existing clients that we have and then offering either different services or a way to offer, I guess I should say, different requests and opportunities that you can open up with that client, with that existing client.
It breaks down that barrier, especially like, hey, we're going to take care of you. It's not always just like selling it right away.
Right.
Like, hey, we got floor services. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Everybody does.
Yeah.
But they're okay, cool. But it's all right. Just so you know, we've been noticing a few of these lights have been out. Just want to give you a heads up. Just a simple gesture. They'd be like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. If you notice a week later, it's still not taken care of, hey, I've noticed it's still going. I don't know if you're having issues with it. Let us know if you need any help. You keeping that conversation open. So that's like more of my indirect selling, just asking them questions to invite them in.
Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, because you're not really going toward them to that direct sell and asking for the business, right? Very different approach. So Dino, exactly right. So same thing. I mean, I love that. Again, that's kind of how I feel like raised, in this company. And I think kind of naturally that kind of happened with us is what is your approach on the operation side on how do you sell with that indirectly selling approach?
Well, I mean, and Julian had some great stuff and great points. But for myself, what I feel is effective, right, and works well is right, like Julian said. We already have relationships, right? So with the customers that we have, they already have our trust. They already know that we're there. We're servicing them. We're performing our services weekly or daily, weekly, and so on. The biggest thing is just understanding your customer, and then from there, based on the relationship that you have in conversation, hey, you know what? Mentioning and talking on the different points and services of which we offer outside of the current contracted obligation that they have or whatever it is that they're working or how we're servicing them. And then from that point, I also have my supervisors that are out in the field. Oh, yeah. When they're out in the field and they're actually going and visiting these locations or visiting their techs at night, they're able to go and analyze and see, hey, oh, that carpet looks dirty. These floors look dirty. Hey, I saw some chip paint on the walls. I saw this. And what my supervisors do is they know to go ahead and send me a list of different items per the location that they feel might need to be addressed. And then that's a talking point that I have coming in the next day. If let's say you're the customer. Hey, Mr. Dominic, how you doing today? I know my supervisor was in last night. Mentioned here at the front entrance, you had some chip paint on the walls. Your carpets in the conference room look a little had a little stain on there. Hey, you do know that we have this and we have this and we can do this. And then from there, it's just an easier way of breaking that barrier and then being able to have that conversation with the customer to deliver a possible opportunity to sell additional services.
Absolutely, I love that. And what this does too, and what I found like when I started doing this in the beginning is this changes the dynamic of how the client looks at you and views you. I think that's really, really huge. I think that when you're talking to a client and because let's look at the direct approach, and we're going to get into that. But like when you're having this indirect style of a customer service approach, it really just kind of takes that pressure off and saying, "Oh my gosh, Dino and Julian, they're calling me. It's probably important. I better pick up. Maybe the door's not locking." Right? Like, and you're calling them for these issues. So now it's not, oh man, Julian, and Dino, they're calling me because, they probably want a carpet cleaning. No, it's, they're calling me. It's freaking important. Let me answer this phone or let me check his email. It's always about something that's probably not to do with cleaning. Right? And I love that. And, I tried to implement that, from the very, very beginning, because number one, it's not easy to service clients, right? Because remember, no clients, no money. But I think when you have a certain level of customer service and then you exceed expectations, and Dino, you talk about this all the time, is exceeding that expectations, it's not always to stay in that lane. Staying in the lane and just cleaning. Well, no, it should be as the entire facility itself, right? As an entire approach of saying, this is exactly what needs to be communicated in order for everybody to do their jobs collectively, because you and the client are a team, right? It's not, the cleaner's there, they got their, blinders on and they're just a robot to clean. Well, no, it's the entire place, right, is our place, and you treat it like your home.
And the other thing too, it's like you set that up, you don't set that up after you get the account. You actually set that up before you get the account.
Yes.
Because you're like, hey, just so you know, we are about communication. But that's letting them know, hey,
huge.
I'm going to send you emails with this. It may be minor to you, it may be little things, but I'm letting you know this is what we do, this is how we do it. Because now instead, let's say you go into an account, you get the account, you don't tell them anything about this. Now you're just blasting off emails to this person. Why are they blasting off emails to me?
Exactly.
And it's just setting it up. It's like it's always through the walkthrough when you're giving that relationship building. It's like, I'm going to set you up, I'm going to put myself there, and now it opens the door. Now it's like, okay, cool. They read the email, okay, cool. Oh, looks like a doorknob. All right, cool. Thanks. Next thing.
Yeah, you set the expectation up, right? Like from the beginning.
Yeah. And that's what it is. I mean, I take that big approach, like even from day one, right? If it's a new customer, it's going in there right away, right? Like you talked about, like even getting the initial contract, right? Letting them know from day one, like, hey, this is what we offer. This is the things that we can do for you. Hey, let me set you up with this. I mean, we've talked about this before. Go in and, pretty much we're a single source solution, right? We want to go in and we want to be that service provider for that facility. So that's my approach that I take, is that when I go in for an opportunity, it's to look at the full facility and how Rozalado can come in and service you
Completely.
from front of the house to the back
A to
of the
Z.
house, or A to Z, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my approach, and it's been great. And I feel that when you build that relationship and you set those expectations, it's I call it consultative based selling, right? You're consulting.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's indirect selling, right?
Yeah, right.
That's like educating, not selling.
Right.
Right. And that's huge. I'm glad you brought that up, because that educational piece of understanding is saying, well, here's what it takes to make your facility functionable. Right. And by the way, I'm glad you said about the single source solution, because that's our approach.
Right.
But I feel like everybody that's just doing janitorial can also have that approach of maybe a single source solution for janitorial, meaning like anything that has to do with cleaning. They don't have to do maintenance and construction like we do, right? And all these other different things, or landscaping, snow removal, all that. They could just do a single source solution for janitorial, like pressure washing, window washing, floor services, janitorial, order their supplies. So and you can encompass an entire thing of just janitorial services. And that's a lot of stuff still. I mean, come on, duct cleaning, and there's so much you could do that has to do with just cleaning. Yeah. And I love that. So wow, I think that's really, really huge. That I kind of feel proud of myself. I feel like we work together on that. And in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, I feel like it's tough to do with people that don't understand that customer service of sales, right? Because I feel like, and then it's just maybe a stereotype, maybe some people think about, is that maybe they think like, oh, ops people are like introverts, right? Yeah. And then salesmen are extroverts. I don't think that's true, right? I think that's I feel like that might be the stereotype, but anybody could sell. Like, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert or an extrovert or anything like that.
Asking the right questions, man.
That's huge, man. Yeah. And then educating the right way, And again, I love that. So yeah, that's indirect selling. Wow, awesome.